Hello everyone and welcome to another Flip Classroom video. And once again, remember the idea behind these videos I will be presenting to you via YouTube is to give you an overview and concepts of our material so that we have more time in class for activities, assignments, group discussions, projects, and more things like that. So make sure you take notes and pay close attention. If you have any questions or concerns, bring them to class for clarification and discussion. Please keep in mind that anything that's discussed in these videos, you will see them again on a test or a quiz. So feel free to watch these videos as many times as you need. All right, class, welcome to my flip class method razor shave video. So first of all, we want to talk about the razor shave. Why would someone get a razor shave? Well, that is simply just to maybe want to remove any unwanted hair on their face, or they could simply just want the experience. But there are some things you need to remember when it comes to a razor shave. One, it takes practice and careful attention and skills to master the art of shaving. And also, it could be a very profitable service if it's performed properly. But before we actually get into the actual shave movements and our steps, I want to be able to talk about, or we need to be familiar with, some of the tools and implements that we use during our shave. One is towels. Towels, we use it for cleaning and also removing cream. Also, we use it mainly for steaming our client's face as well. Also, we use a cape for our client protection. We also want to have a shower cap or a towel to be able to put over the headrest to create a barrier between our client's head and our headrest for sanitation purposes. Then we want to make sure we have a wet sanitizer or disinfecting solution to be able to disinfect our razor and all the rest of our implements that we'll be using. Also, we want to make sure we have shaving cream. Our shaving cream is used to cleanse the face, as well as it provides protection, and it helps hold the hair erect when we are actually performing a shave, so it gives us that nice smooth shave that we're desiring. Then we want to make sure we have aftershave or a toner that helps soothe the skin, as well as facial cream that helps provide moisture, puts moisture back into our client's skin. And then we want to make sure we have a blood spill or a first aid kit for any type of nicks that may occur during our shave. Then we want to make sure we have soap for washing your hands. You can't wash your hands enough, all right? And then finally, our very important implement and the sharpest implement in our kit is our razor. Our razor, we have two types. They come as a changeable or conventional. When we say changeable basically, like its name, it could change the blade after each service. And then we have a conventional. A conventional, the razors are actually all built together. And the way that we sharpen our razor is actually to strop it, or when we say strop it, we mean it on either a strop, a piece of leather, and then we have either what we call a hone, on a hard abrasive object that we use to sharpen our razor. So that's our conventional razor. There are 11 parts to both our razors, okay, that you need to be familiar with. We have the head, point, the blade, the edge, the heel, the back, the shoulder, the shank, the pivot screw, and the handle, and our tang. Then we also have 4 hand positions you need to be familiar with when we're doing our razor shave. And when we say our 4 hand positions, we mean free hand, backhand. We also have reverse backhand, reverse free hand. Also, when we talk about our razor, we want to make sure we keep it in a proper angle, and our proper angles is usually a 45 degree, and we want to make sure that your point is always leading. And whenever you're not using your razor, you want to make sure you keep it stored away in a dry, sanitized place, okay? So then finally, before we get started to begin our service, we must always do a consultation. And during our consultation, when you think about your consultation, you want to think about our client's past, present, and future information. When we think of the past, we want to think about when was the last time they had a shave? And if so, what has happened when they had a shave? You want to know this. Also, present, you want to think of any kind of current health condition your client may have. For example, if they have high blood pressure, or if they're diabetic, or they're on blood thinners, you need to know this. And if so, if they've been approved by their primary care doctor, then you can move on, but you want to keep in mind that if somebody has high blood pressure or something like that, you may want to cool your steam towels down some so that you won't raise their blood pressure. Then you want to make sure you do a skin analysis. You want to make sure there's no cuts or bruises or any type of lesions or sores, because we don't want to cause any further irritation to our client's skin. And then when we think of the future, we want to think of whatever type of professional recommendations you may have gave your client, and then you want to make sure you document it on your client record card. So then now we've done our consultation. When we run over our tools and implements, we now know this is an ideal candidate. So now we'll go ahead and begin our application. There are actually 11 steps you want to be familiar with, okay? Our first step, you want to always wash your hands. You want to greet and seat your client. You want to make sure you greet and seat them in a sanitized chair and work area. Then step 2, you want to properly drape and recline your client. Then you want to begin your linen setup. Your linen setup is built up of your headrest cover, which could be your shower cap or a towel. Then we want to make sure you have your cape, a chest towel. Our chest towel is used to be able to create a barrier between our client's skin and the cape for sanitation purposes. And then we want to have a lather pad. This helps wipe our lather off of our razor to keep our razor clean. Then step 3, you want to make sure you wash your hands again. Proper sanitation is a must. You cannot wash your hands enough. Step 4, you want to steam your client's face again. The purpose of steaming your client's face is to help soften the hair cuticles as well as lubrication. It allows your natural oils to surface the skin, and it helps give you that smooth surface for your blade to glide over to give you a nice smooth shave. So you want to make sure you steam and help soften those hair cuticles on the face. Then you want to apply lather. The purpose of our first lather is to cleanse the skin. And then we want to apply a second steam towel. So now the purpose of our second steam towel is to remove the lather, but again is continue to help soften the hair cuticles, and is continue to help provide that lubrication that we want as well. So then step 5, we want to re-lather our client's face. You want to make sure when you're re-lathering, also when you do your first lather, you want to feel for any type of grain change in areas, or just want to feel for the grain direction. When we say grain change, that means any direction that the hair may be going opposite of the rest of the hair. So you want to know where that is at, because you don't want to go against the grain in your very first passing, because that can cause irritation. So then also re-lathering allows us to help work in the lather. And then you want to repeat this step if necessary. For example, somebody has a very thick beard or something like that. You want to make sure that you may want to re-lather and also apply another steam towel as well. Also, if someone has, a side note, if someone has an extremely long beard, you want to make sure that you cut that prior to getting started. Then step 6, you want to do your 14-step shave. All right, and your mustache is optional. Your 14 steps, my old faithful buddy here. 14 steps I can show you real quickly is 1 is from the sideburn down to the jawbone. 2 is across the jawbone to the corner of the mouth, which is number 1, was a free hand. 2 is a backhand. 3 is your mustache, which is a free hand. 4 is from your jawbone down to what we call the grain change area. That's where the grain changes direction. And you want to be familiar with that again, because you don't want to go against the grain, because it could cause irritation or that crease of the neck. 5 is the lower neck up to that grain change area, and that's reverse freehand. Okay. 6 is a backhand mustache. 7 is a backhand from the sideburn down to the jawbone. 8 is a freehand across the jawbone to the corner of the mouth. 9 is a backhand from the jawbone down to our grain change area. 10 is a reverse freehand from our lower neck up to the grain change area. 11 is across the chin. 12, which is a freehand, 12 is optional hand position. You could do a freehand or a backhand, whichever one you feel comfortable with, or also the client, depending on the client's profile as well. And then 13, lower neck up to the grain change, but this is where the Adam's apple is at, and it's a reverse freehand, but you want to pull to the left and pull to the right, because you never want to go over the Adam's apple, because the skin is very thin there, and you don't want to nick our client. All right, if you notice, our 5, 13, and 10 were all reverse freehand. And then finally 14 is reverse freehand under the bottom lip. So that is our 14-step shave movements. Then finally 7, we want to make sure we apply another warm towel, because now after being shaved, our client's skin is very sensitive. So we want to start cooling the towels down, so we want to use a warm towel. Then step 8, we're going to do what we call a second time over. Our second time over is no set order. We're just going to remove any areas that we might have missed. This is a good time if a client wants a closer shave. We want to go across the grain. We recommend going across the grain. If you go against the grain, you want to be something that the client requests, or you want it for extremely stubborn areas, because we don't normally recommend doing against the grain, because we don't want to cause any type of irritation to our client's skin. Okay, because it could cut it too close and it could cause ingrown hairs or anything like that. Then we want to make sure we clean the face with a warm towel. Remember, we want to be cooling the towels down at this point because our skin is sensitive. The client's skin is sensitive. So now we're on our final step. Step 9, we want to apply aftershave. The purpose of the aftershave is to soothe our client's skin. Then we want to apply a cool towel to help close the pores. Then we want to make sure, a warning, when you're applying your towels, especially in your final steps, you want to make sure that you are towel blotting. And when we towel blot, we don't want to just rub off on the client's face because, again, the face is very sensitive from after the shave. Then we'll apply a facial cream to apply moisture back into our client's skin. And then 10, we want to apply talcum powder. The purpose of talcum powder is to help dry the client's face, and it helps give a layer of protection as well, because what's the very first thing someone do after getting a wonderful shave? They're going to want to touch their face, okay? So it helps give that protection as well. Then we'll apply a toner to put tone back into the client's skin. And then you want to properly discard your linen setup. And then you want to incline your client slowly, because they've been reclined back for a little while. You want to make sure you rebook. And then you want to record on your client record card. Now, step 11 is actually optional. This is a point where you can actually, any type of facial design, you can do it now, or neck shave, you can do it at this point as well. So, this was our application of a shave. So, for review, we talked about earlier, you want to make sure you understand the proper tools and implements that we need to use in order to perform a shave. You want to make sure that you understand that got to make sure you are practicing sanitation. You also want to make sure you do a consultation. Okay, and you want to make sure you're doing your proper application, and you want to make sure you record for your client record card. So with all that being said, you want to refer back to your My Ladies chapter 14 for shaving and facial hair, and be prepared to discuss in class tomorrow. All right.